But now, countries and corporations are diving deep into uncharted waters to stake their claims on what is down there. This is a rush that could change the world. It's the race to the bottom of the sea. For centuries, people have been obsessed with the idea of the ocean floor as a vast, untapped resource. In 1620, King James I of England granted a nobleman the exclusive right to, quote, all the fish, wrecks, pearls, precious stones, and other hidden and valuable things whatsoever which shall be found in the sea or elsewhere. Today, that idea of ownership has taken on new meaning as countries realize just how much stuff is lying beneath our feet and how useful it might be. Take manganese nodules, potato-sized rocks containing manganese and other metals like nickel, cobalt, and copper. They're found in huge quantities on the seafloor, particularly in an area known as the Shatsky Rise. Estimates suggest there are between 13 million and 21 billion metric tons of these nodules, with an estimated concentration of 24% manganese, making them a potentially rich source of a metal vital to modern technologies. Then there are vast undersea volcanoes known as seamounts, some of which contain rare earth elements. Minerals that are used to make the powerful magnets in electric motors and are currently in high demand due to the global push toward green energy. But the real prize may be what lies beneath all that. According to a recent study by the Nippon Foundation and JEBCO, the total economic value of minerals and resources on the seabed could be as much as $100 trillion. That is more than twice the GDP of the United States in 2021. So it is not surprising that so many countries want a piece of the pie. As of February 2022, 193 of the 195 nations recognized by the United Nations had claimed at least part of the ocean floor under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. The only holdouts were Lesotho and South Africa. But even before those countries made their decisions, the seabed had already been effectively colonized by a handful of deep-sea miners. Companies from around the world, including Canada's Lockheed Martin, China's State Oceanic Administration, and Japan's Hitachi Metals, have established operations in international waters. While other companies like Deep Green and the Global Sea Mineral Resources are working to develop viable mining techniques, it's a difficult technological challenge. Seabed mining requires ships equipped with cranes and suction devices to suck up massive amounts of sediment and then wash it through a series of increasingly fine filters to extract the desired minerals. Another option is to use remotely operated vehicles or underwater robots to gather up nodules and ore directly from the seafloor. Both methods require highly specialized equipment, and both are still in the experimental phase. Even once the resources are collected, they pose an environmental concern. One major fear is that mining operations will damage fragile deep-sea ecosystems. Mining companies argue that their operations can coexist with marine life. For example, Lockheed Martin claims that its mining plan would only disturb the top layer of sediment, leaving the benthic organisms on the seafloor unharmed. Other critics worry that noise pollution created by mining operations could impact marine mammals. Still others fear that the plume of wastewater released during the mining process could contain toxic chemicals that harm deep-sea creatures. These concerns have led some scientists to call for a moratorium on deep-sea mining until we know more about the impacts. But so far, the calls for caution have not been able to stop the rush to mine. After years of anticipation, the first commercial deep-sea mining operations could begin as early as 2024. So who is going to win this race to the bottom? Probably not the scavengers. Because while the ocean floor may seem like an inexhaustible resource, the reality is that what's down there is finite. Already some nodules have been over-harvested and degraded. Others have been damaged by bottom trawling, the practice of dragging a net along the seafloor to catch fish. Plus, the equipment needed to mine the ocean floor is expensive, and right now there is very little incentive to explore in an environmentally friendly way. As always, the hope is that competition will lead to innovation, and that in the long run, we'll find a way to reap the benefits of the deep sea without doing too much harm. Thanks for watching. Want to know more about the deep sea? Check out our Deep Sea Creatures playlist.